Social media, it's the new buzzword. 6 months ago, nobody heard of it, and now everybody's talking about social media. And I do a lot of these presentations now because everybody wants to hear more about it and thinking they should be involved. If you look at the growth of social media, it took 40 years for TV to get 10 million viewers. And it took 15 years for radio to get 10 million listeners. Now, Hotmail was able to sign up 10 million people in a year, and Facebook are signing up at the moment 20 million people every single month. That's 20 million people every single month on Facebook. It's huge. It's growing so quickly. And it's something you really need to pay attention to as a business. And am I passionate about social media? Absolutely. I love it because I see the benefits to businesses, and I want to pass that benefits on to companies. So as an agency, what we do is we provide consultancy to companies to help them set up a strategy for social media, because you can really waste a lot of time with Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn, the whole lot. You need a strategy in place, so we help with that. And then we provide ongoing advice, and we provide help with the technology side as well. So how you make best use out of technology to deliver on social media, and we do training as well. So this is what social media about. It's about people having conversations online. That's all it is. It's people are there talking about your product online at the moment, and you need to start engaging that conversation. I was at a presentation today, and they said that it's like a phone is ringing in the corner and you're not answering it. This is what's happening. People are talking about your product or service online. You need to get engaged and get involved in that conversation. And as the guys talked about, Ger and Patrick, the previous presentation, things are changing the way you deal with customers, and it's the same online. It's a completely different approach. Marketing now is a completely different approach. So as before, it was all about interruption-based marketing. This is where you have your ads on Sky, you have your ads on the TV. You're no interest in these ads. You skip over them with Sky Plus. You skip over them in the newspaper. You know that PR is more effective, getting the articles in the paper. But this is all interruption-based marketing, where you're constantly interrupted with these sort of messages. And people are just not interested. They don't have time for this anymore. And we're moving now to permission-based marketing. Permission-based marketing is where your customer is giving you permission to market your products, and that's through social media. So for example, within Facebook, you set up a page within Facebook. You get somebody to become a fan of that page because you provide interesting, engaging content. And then based on that content, then you can promote your product and service through it. And the ideal goal, what you want to get to, is that people are marketing your product to other people. So it's the consumers are actually marketing your product, and you can establish that through social media. It's confusing. There's lots of tools. There's lots of technologies. I'm not going to go through every one of these here tonight unless you really want to stay here for the night. So it's not just LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. There's YouTube for videos. It's podcasts for talking over the internet. There's Skype. There's meetings online. So it's anywhere that people are having conversations online. So we look for a strategy for a company. We don't just say, oh, you're on Facebook and that's it. We look at the whole range of things, how we can improve that communication with customers online. So it's a whole range. So why should you care? So what's in this for you? I suppose one of the things is 2/3 of the global population are on social networks at the moment. And this is increasing. There's 300 million people on Facebook at the moment. There's 45 million people on LinkedIn, the business networking site. And it's constantly growing every single day, and it's become more and more important. So it's not something you can ignore. It's actually become now the 4th most popular online activity ahead of email. So it's even more popular than email at this stage. I think everybody should be on LinkedIn. It's 45 million people. It's not like Twitter. Twitter, you can get people saying, I'm going eating a pizza or something. You have this sort of stuff on Twitter. LinkedIn is all business. And the thing about LinkedIn is 45 million people, but they're important people. There's 2/3 people are influencers or decision makers within LinkedIn, and 28% are vice president or above. So they're all senior people within LinkedIn. So it is important. So we're going to just move on to Twitter. So Twitter is a way of getting across a message very quickly that's very short and snappy. You've only 140 characters, and it can be very useful at times. Now, Twitter, it can be very frustrating at times as well, because there's a lot of rubbish on Twitter. There's a lot of, I'm going for a pizza, I'm going for a walk with my dog, all this. So I just don't follow these people. What you do is you register with Twitter, and then you follow certain people, and then you can see all their updates. I was doing a presentation for Carmichael House this morning there, and it was a whole range of voluntary groups. There's about 40 different voluntary groups. And they were saying, well, how could we use Twitter? Well, I say there's times where they need volunteers all the time. So they might say, oh, we need 10 volunteers tomorrow. So they would connect in with a load of people, send on the message saying looking for volunteers, and then we'd forward it on to loads more people. And within a couple of minutes, a couple of thousand people could receive that. And all of a sudden they're getting requests for volunteers. So it's fantastic for that. Or you're running an event and you want people coming to your events, it's great for that as well. Facebook is extremely powerful platform, but it's mainly business to consumer. So it is businesses driving to consumer. So like Red Bull, you can see why Red Bull would have it. Red Bull here, you sign up, you have a personal page and a business page. From a business point of view, I ignore the personal stuff. I just go near the business page. This is what you set up as a business page if you're interested in Facebook. Here they have fans. So they've got 1.3 million fans. And what Red Bull do is just provide interesting information, funny videos, all sorts of interesting stuff that's funny, humorous. And this content, what happens here is, see this says 781 people like this, and there was 90 comments. When people start clicking like this, then that information gets put onto their news feed, which just displays all the latest news, and then it gets displayed on their friends' news feeds. So although there's 1.4 million people here, some of that, it could be 10 or 15 million people will receive information about Red Bull.